Hello fellow mutants, welcome back to another video, and in this video we're going to talk about how Disney's reportedly told Kathleen Kennedy to stop announcing new projects. And I can honestly blame Disney for wanting that, because we had what, 5 Star Wars films to come out, right? Force Awakens, Rogue One, Last Jedi, Solo, Star Wars Story, and Rise of Skywalker, in that order, right? And yeah, I love you too, Neil. And ever since Rise of Skywalker, we had multiple movies announced. I mean, granted that the shows for Star Wars has been booming, and I can't say anything about the shows in terms of them coming out with new projects. Even though I haven't enjoyed all of them thoroughly, I can appreciate that we're getting new Star Wars content in terms of shows. But movies, it's been dead. We haven't had a single Star Wars movie since Rise of Skywalker. And I've seen a video where someone says they're taking their time, right? And I feel like after 3 years after Rise of Skywalker came out in 2019. So that means 2020, 2021. The latest, we should have gotten a Star Wars trailer late last year, or sometime this year, for a Star Wars movie that could have been coming out, if not later this year, then early next year, right? But we haven't, because either people walked away because they did not meet see eye to eye with Kathleen Kennedy, or Kathleen Kennedy fired them. And it's unfair for us fans that Kathleen Kennedy keeps on announcing movies, but then those movies go to waste, goes to dumps. So I can't, blame Lucasfilm or Disney for telling Kathleen Kennedy to stop announcing new projects, because all the projects or let's just say all, but most of the projects, all the projects that are continuing movies, hasn't been to fruition. And that is frustrating as a Star Wars fan. And at this point, whenever there's a Star Wars movie confirmed, announced, I was like, okay, another Star Wars movie that's most likely going to get get thrown out the window based on what we've seen since Rise of Skywalker. But with that said, let's get into this article. Want to get into this article, Nemo? Let's get into this article. Disney is reportedly taking a do or do not approach to Star Wars and pressing pause on formally announcing new projects and creators amid a stagnant film slate. The storied franchise has been theatrical hiatus since the 2019's Star Wars Rise of Skywalker, the final Skywalker film, shifting focus on the television side of the galaxy far, far away with acclaimed Disney Plus series The Mandalorian and Andor. Following word that Lost and Star Trek scribe Damon Lindelof is scripting yet another untitled Star Wars film. Inside Matthew Billings Puke News reports Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy has been advised by Disney to stop announcing projects and creative partners. According to Bologna, an entertainment lawyer and former editor of The Hollywood Reporter, the reason it is quote online backlash when those projects don't actually happen, and it's the case frequently at Lucasfilm. In late 2018, after Solo Star Wars Story failed to take flight in the box office, then Disney CEO Bob Iger declared a Star Wars slowdown. Plans for another anthology films, including spin-offs starring Boba Fett and Obi-Wan Kenobi, were eventually reworked into Disney Plus shows. Iger told THR in 2018, "I think the mistake that I made, I take the blame, was a little too much, too fast. I think we're going to be a bit more careful about volume and timing." And although it's only too much, too fast, if you don't put the heart and care into writing the story. If you put the care and heart into the story, then we can easily have like what Marvel does, releasing a Marvel movie each year. We could have had like since it's been like what 4 years since the Rise of Skywalker, 3-4 years. So we could have had like potentially like, at least two Star Wars movies at this point. A Star Wars movie that came out last year, and a Star Wars movie that could have potentially came out either. Oh, now it's October. So like either November, December, or early next year, right? Because before Disney bought Star Wars was already in that big spot where if George Lucas wanted to at the time, he could release his version of what the sequel trilogy could have been like, let's say 2020, 2021, and then ended in 2023. If you wanted to, because Star Wars was such a beloved franchise. Sure, people will get into like heated debates, but it's because us fans love Star Wars that much. So like I said, it was too much too fast. It wouldn't be too much too fast if they put the heart into the Star Wars stories. And if Kathleen Kennedy can get out of her own way. Anyways, Game of Thrones creators David Benioff and D.B. Weiss developed a Star Wars saga that, deader than Ned Stark, they stepped away from the galaxy far, far away in 2019 to pursue the Netflix deal. The Last Jedi director Rian Johnson has been attached to his own Star Wars trilogy since 2017, and that too is taking a backseat to the two Night Owl sequels he created for Disney Plus rival streamer Netflix, which I could be wrong about this, and I'll admit I'm wrong, assuming we get a trailer. But I highly doubt that Rian Johnson's trilogy is going to be made. Because I feel like at least his first movie should have been out by now. The latest his movie should have been released, in the first movie in the trilogy, should have been released last year. The latest. And that way he can work on Knives Out 2. And then after like he's done with Knives Out 2, he could have went back to his second Star Wars film. And then after the second Star Wars film, Cole went to Knives Out 3. And after Knives Out 3, Cole went to the conclusion in his trilogy. Which essentially would have taken us to like, what, 2025, 2026? So I highly doubt we're getting his trilogy. Highly doubt. Anyways, the same year Lucasfilm closed out the Rise of Skywalker, Disney obviously announced Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige, chief architect of the blockbuster Marvel Cinematic Universe, was developing a Star Wars film produced by Kennedy. Another Marvel movie maker, Thor Ragnarok and Thor Love and Thunder director Taika Waititi was also co-write and direct an all-new Star Wars film after directing an episode of live-action Star Wars series The Mandalorian. During Disney's Investors Day in 2020, it was announced Wonder Woman film Patty Jenkins would direct Rogue Squadron, set with the sequel trilogy timeline, and focus on the next generation of X-Wing fighter pilots. The project was originally released December 2023, but stalled and has been removed from Disney's release calendar. Another project that little movement is one formally announced by Lucasfilm. In 2020, THR report Slate and Sweetheart director J.D. Dillard was developing a Star Wars spin-off with Luke Cage and Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. writer Matt Owens. It's unclear whether that film is intended to be a theatrical release or go straight to Disney Plus. Disney Plus has bookmarked two untitled Star Wars films for December 19th, 2025 and December 17th, 2027, but the franchise future in theaters is murky. Earlier this year, Kennedy explained why Star Wars shifted to streaming television over feature films and clarified that the next era of Star Wars films has been in movement all along. Okay. And this is what Kennedy apparently said. As we leave the Skywalker saga, all we have we have all this great exciting work happening on the television side that informs so much about where we're going. We want to be we want to be very intentional about that. We have a great talent that we're working with, people who care so deeply about the next iteration of Star Wars is, and about getting people back into movie theaters so we can really come out with a bang. That's important to us. Lucasfilm's next release, the Willow series, releasing November 30th on Disney Plus. Star Wars The Mandalorian Season 3 streaming in my birth month, February 2023 on Disney Plus, and Harrison Ford starring Indiana Jones in theaters June 30th of 2023. It ain't anymore. And I'm happy where Lucasfilm is doing like Willow, even though I've never seen Willow, like the original Willow. I'm happy Lucasfilm's doing Indiana Jones 5. Like, the only two Indiana Jones movies I've seen is the last one that was made with Shia LaBeouf and the first Indiana Jones. But my point is, I'm happy that they're doing something. I'm genuinely happy that they're doing something. But at the same token, I cannot be surprised that they are going in the route of, hey, Kathleen Kennedy, don't announce new projects, because it gets tiring after a while. Hey guys, guess what? We're gonna make a new project, yay! And then like a few months to like a year later, sorry guys, you know that project we promised you? We're not gonna do that, okay? But hey, guess what? We're gonna make a new project, and then we go in the same cycle over and over and over again. And at some point, it was like, you guys are like full of shit. You guys are full of shit. You guys are pulling our legs. And it's a good way to lose faith in your fan base, which is Star Wars in this case, and lose faith in Kathleen Kennedy. I want Star Wars to succeed. I really do. I've been a Star Wars fan since I was 11, and I'm 26 now. I want Star Wars to succeed. But Star Wars will never reach its potential if Kathleen Kennedy keeps on announcing projects just to end them before they like even take off. So yes, I agree with Disney on this one. Kathleen Kennedy should stop announcing films until she finds people that's on board. And they already shot the movie, and have plans to release it, which is unlike what Batgirl did. Like, don't pull a Batgirl, make the Batgirl movie, be so close to like be ready to film it, and then don't release it. Actually, release your movies, right? So that's just me. But anyways, what do you guys think? Like, do you guys agree with this article? Or do you guys agree with Disney telling Kathleen Kennedy to stop announcing projects? Let me know in the comment section down below. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Be kind to one another. I'll talk to you guys later. And may the Force be with us all, because we all need it. Me, Nemo, and you guys too. Later, taters.